Hi everyone, Brian from Bear Bull Traders here. It is Monday, May 25th, Memorial Day, celebrating all the men and women in our armed forces that have given their lives. Call of Duty. We honor them today, so at least in the US. So let's just start out by reviewing the past week and take a look ahead what we got in store for a shortened trading week here. Day market's closed today, obviously. So you can see here on the Dow, we pretty much finished flat on the day on Friday. Again, the NASDAQ tech sector leading the charge and pretty much flat on the day on the S&P as well. So if we take a look at the groups, it's kind of messed up. There's nothing sort of long-term leading. The last week, real estate was up. And I'm assuming on sort of people are anticipating sort of reopening, getting the economy going again. Utilities, the safety trade was the seemed to be in vogue on Friday, and technology, even though it's been lagging a bit on the week, still been good on the month and right up there Friday as well. Yeah, so not sure what we can read into that. Things seem to be flipping back and forth here. So what do we got coming up for the week? Let's take a quick look at our calendar. Tuesday we've got some earnings. Groupon, AutoZone could be interesting. Workday, Hewlett Packard, Box on the Wednesday, and CRM, Salesforce, Costco will definitely be interesting as one of the big beneficiaries of all the shopping online that's happening. So we've got a bit of an earnings, of course, earnings season kind of winding down here, and that's the way things are going. So let's start out by looking at some of the indexes here. You can see daily on the transports, we had a pretty narrow trading range day on Friday. Volume dropped off, which wasn't surprising leading into a long weekend. On the week, had a pretty good week overall on the transports. The volume was relatively decent, and looks like, although we didn't finish on the highs of the day, we finished pretty close, up 10% on the week, so or 9%. So decent day. RSI is heading up. Market looks like it's going to continue to improve here. You can see here the MACD is starting to curl up. Stochastics starting to curl. So transports actually look pretty solid going into next week, which is good. We're stuck in a trading range here on the 10-year yield. Of course, the bond traders probably want this higher because of all the debt, but on the other hand, you've got the Fed who want to keep this as low as possible, so they're just going to be an ongoing battle there, and I think we're kind of range bound. The VIX has had a down week, and probably going to hold in here around 25. I don't see anything changing significantly. Might be getting a little bit oversold here, but RSI is kind of hanging around in the middle. Nothing going on there. Nothing to see here. On the daily, again, sort of the outside day, but drop down. Again, usually on Fridays, the volatility comes out of the market anyway. So on the small caps, and I know Andrew's been trading these. Looks like they're continuing to strengthen, and I'd be watching this 135 level. Let's see here what the previous high here was, 136.84. But it looks like here we might actually be on the verge of breaking out, and if we do, IWM could go sort of up to the 140 level, which would fill this gap here. And then we've got 140, sort of this level, 146-ish, which is where the 200-day moving average is. So one way to play this, obviously, the TNA, which is a levered ETF. If you wanted to play this for a breakout through, I would say a close above, probably a close above 135.5, where it closed out this day before it pulled back. Weekly, again, this is just reconfirming that things look pretty strong here. Continual higher lows. Volume was a little weak for the weekly. And the Qs volume really dropped off Friday. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly again getting a little bit extended here. We're up and pretty close to the high before we just sold off. Volume a little anemic on the week, but indicators looking a little bit on the overbought side. So probably going to have some pretty heavy resistance here. And on the SPY, we're right at the 200-day. You can see here we rejected it, pulled back, but still holding this level. Made a higher low here. So we'll be watching for this break of the 200-day. And again, volume sort of declining here week over or day on the daily. Let's take a look on the weekly. Again, we're right into some moving averages here, and these prior levels of resistance before we broke through here. So again, I think we're going to have some little bit of back and forth here, and yeah, I'd be watching for a move through 300. Could be the next move higher. RSI sort of curling up here. MACD, the lines crossed. Yeah, so market looks like it's going to continue higher. The Dow, let's look at the weekly. Again, kind of breaking out here, closed on a high, and again, markets looking like it wants to go higher. So definitely biased to the long side. You can see here RSI curling up. MACD is about to cross here. All systems go. Let's take a look quickly at the TNA before we move on. Way to play the small caps for a breakout here. Again, looks similar to the IWM. Small caps, you can again, you can play that trade for might be worth taking a trade to see how, and we'll see how we open on Tuesday morning. On watch, let's just take a quick look. Gold, keeping an eye on gold, still, I think still a decent trade. Looks like it's sort of consolidating here, just waiting to kind of break out. Etsy one I took long on Friday. I mentioned that as we got into the market end here. I like the way it had a nice pop up, and then we've had a bit of a pullback to this moving average, and then we had a good day today, or Friday, so I'm looking for a continuation move, maybe back up through 80, and that's where I'll take my first profits on that, and then we'll see where things go from there. GDX on the monthly, this is a monthly chart of GDX. You can see here we're on a monthly we're breaking out, and you can see we've still got a long way to go here to catch back up to sort of 2011. We've got in the 60s here, so we are definitely breaking out. Here's a level here, 40, which is probably going to have some resistance here, but you can see here a lot of accumulation of the GDX in this area here based on this price volume bars, and I've been part of that, buying and selling. So I think the GDX looks like it will continue to go higher here. And here's the daily. You can kind of see here we've tried to break out, and now we're doing a little bit of a retest, and we may get a pullback here to the 34.70 range, this moving average, but stochastic's turning down, so probably some more weakness here before we head higher. The GDXJ, which are the small cap miners, junior miners. Again, another way to play the gold trade. KWEB, I'd be looking for a bit of a bounce here on Tuesday. We've had a big pullback. Of course, China in the news based on their new legislation about cracking down in Hong Kong. I think that's going to get some pushback from the world, and also some of the words that are being exchanged about the virus and where it originated. So China's becoming a bit of an issue again, although I don't think it's going to derail this market from going higher. Kind of just a distraction. And Labu's been really strong. We've had a nice comeback here. Of course, the biotechs have been strong, and those are the ones that are in focus with the virus and just everything else that's going on. Focus on health, and it looks like Labu's about to head higher here. Here's one I'm watching, Limelight Networks. I think it looks like it's ready to break out here. I'd be looking for a long above sort of 540. If it can close above 540, 550, could be good for a break higher. Sir, I'm just watching that one. It looks like it's kind of holding this 1430 level, so we'll see what it does on Tuesday. Silver again, poor man's gold. It's had a really nice pop, doing some consolidation. It's above the 200 now, and lots of different ways to play that. PAS is another one that's been really strong. TBT, again, this is just a way to play yields going higher, but I think we're just chopping in a range here. So, and there's TNA, of course, talked about that. UNG looks like gas put in a double bottom here, so I'll be taking a look at that on Tuesday. See how the gas price looks. Certainly, it's could be worth a trade. Low on this is 1140 ish, or I should say, yeah, 1140 ish. So we could take a trade here, looking for a double bottom. You can see here one bottom, two bottoms. So there's your stop out on the open, sort of 1140, and closed at 1160. So you could maybe get a bounce back up to 1240. So about $1 move for maybe a 20 or 30 cent risk. We'll see how that goes. And oil's kind of popped up here, and now it's kind of come up against this area where it gapped down to, so we'll see what oil does. I'm not looking for a trade here, but there's been a lot of buying in these lower levels here, so we'll see how oil does next week. So that's about it, everybody. Hope everyone's had a good long weekend, extra day off. Thinking about our men and women in the forces today, so this is my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, if you haven't checked it out. And yeah, so we'll be in the Bear Bull Trading Room in the morning, Wednesday or Tuesday morning, 8:30 a.m., pre-market show, and then trading the open when the market opens up for the day. So hope to see you all there. Join us on live on YouTube at 8:30. And yeah, if you're a member, we'll see you in the room anyway. So take care, everybody. Have a good rest of the weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.